what's going on? My name is Capono. Now that we're done with our PBO, our CPU is running from 3.8 up to 4.4 gigahertz. But what if I said we can make that even faster? Well, why not? Let's do it. And we're going to do it with Curve Optimizer. I'm going to show you how. First off, what is Curve Optimizer? Well, I'm not going to give you a full in-depth explanation on what it is, because for me it's kind of hard to explain, but I am going to show you a graph that AMD has put out on the internet just to give you an idea on what it does.
So if you look at the graph, all we're doing is bringing that voltage line down at the same frequency, giving us more headroom so that the CPU can go faster. And that's basically it in a nutshell.
All right, so we're going to go into our BIOS, but not quite yet. We are going to do a default on what our CPU is doing. I guess I can't say a default because we did our Precision Boost Overdrive, but without the Curve Optimizer on. So I'm going to open up my Ryzen Master. I'm going to open up Cinebench. I'm going to do a run. So without any type of Curve Optimizer, we're at 26,778. All right, so I ran this for a little bit. We got up to 82 degrees at 4.3.5 gigahertz. And let's see if we can make this faster.
Alright, now that we're in our BIOS, we're going to go from the main screen to advanced. And then we're going to go down to AMD overclocking. This is just a warning. Don't worry, we're not going to hurt anything. So accept. We're going to go down to Precision Boost Overdrive. From here, we're going to go to Curve Optimizer. And now there's a lot of people or a lot of things that I've seen that you can do an all-core Curve Optimizer, but with the all-core, you're just going to be changing the voltage for all your cores, and not all your cores are working exactly the same. So you may not get a really good or the best curve that you can get. So instead of doing the all core optimizer, we're going to go to per core. And within per core, we're going to change all those values to negative. We're not going to do a positive. And in each core, under the negative, we're going to put I guess a value that you know everything's going to be working fine. Well, it may not, but still, just put 10, or you can put 15, start a little higher, because I'm going to show you how you can see which core is failing after this. As we're going to put 10 all the way down. You may have less cores than this, so it may be quicker. And then we're just going to hit F10. And I'm going to push OK.
All right, so before we do anything else, I should have done this first, but we're going to open up, what was it called, the event viewer. So you can either put event viewer over here, or easier way, event viewer right there. And we're gonna create a custom view so that it can tell us critical warnings and errors. I'm gonna do it by source. Hit that drop down menu. I'm gonna go all the way down to where it says WIA logger. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, so it's pretty far to the bottom. It's right here, whale logger. Oops. Click that. I'm going to hit OK. Then we're just going to name it. Why change something good? I hit OK. This is how we're going to find out once we get towards the lower voltage of the CPU when it starts failing, which core has failed us, so that we can adjust all the cores a lot quicker, I guess. You'll see, basically. So I guess we should just type it in the search bar down here. When it comes up, pin it to the taskbar for easy access. And we're going to do a test. Basically, my process is we're going to test, then change the values 5 up on all core, test again until it fails. So we're going to do a 10-minute run. And with just lowering our voltage about 10 points, it already gave us, we're already at 4.4 gigahertz at the same voltage here. So while we're lowering each voltage for each core, at peak, it's still going to be pretty much at the same place. But we got faster, I guess, faster speeds. The clock frequency, the clock speed, a lot quicker. So I'm going to let that run. And then if it finishes the 10 minutes, we're going to go back into BIOS. I'm going to put everything up 5 more. And we're going to do this all over again. All right, now that's done. We have a score of 27,037, which is higher than our 20, what was it, 26? I don't know, that doesn't matter, but we did get a massive jump in our CPU speed. So we're gonna go and do that again. And if you look down here on Ryzen Master, right here, it does tell us that it's all core at -10. So when I come back, it's going to be -15 all core. All right, so back to 10 minutes. As you can see, we're at all core -15. And we're going to do the test again. I know, not exciting, but with that small change of lowering it 5 more, let's see what speed we're at now. Okay, so from 4.43 to 4.47. I say not bad. All right, so now that's done, we will go back into the BIOS and do it again. So we're just going to keep on doing that, and I'm not going to show you every 5 increments that I do. I'm going to go and keep on going until basically until I crash, and then I'll show you how to check and what happens after that. All right, so I got all the way up to -30 on all core, and then it basically died on me. So when that happens, you just open up the event viewer, go into your whale logger, and it's going to have an error, and it's going to be event ID 18. So you're going to look at that, and it's going to tell you what the error was, and it's in processor APIC ID 0. Now I know what you're thinking, what is core 0? Well, that's core 1, and how I know this is when you go into CPU ID or CPU Z, go into tools, and you can have a save report as. I'm going to put it to desktop, save, there it is. And you can copy this down just in case you don't have CPU Z. And I have a bunch of cores. So it says over here, core 0, is 0 or 1. Thread 0 or 1. Core 1 is 2 or 3, and so on and so forth. So you know, when you go back into the BIOS, you can, sorry, thinking about a bunch of different things right now. So, and so when you go in here, this chart tells you that APIC 0 right here is thread 0 under core 0 or core 1. So when you go back into the BIOS, you go to that first core, you back it off 5, and if you didn't reach -30, then you can put everything else up 5. But since I've already reached -30, I'm going to go down 5, and we're going to do another test. All right, and sometimes even when you do that, so I'll show you, hopefully it doesn't crash again. Well, if it does, then you'll see it. So I backed off core 1 or core 0 by 5. The rest is at -30, but it did crash again. So let's see if anything came up. All right, so one more came up at 348, and it says APICID 2. So we'll go back to our list. ID 2 is core 1, or I guess in this case would be core 2 right here. And I'm going to go back in there and I'm going to drop that 5 as well. And I'm not surprised because those are my two, if you look over here, those are my two MVP cores. Those are my two highest cores on CCD0. And so yeah, I'm going to go do that and I'll be right back. All right, so my core 0, core 1, or if you want to say core 1 and core 2, is at -25. We're going to do another test. All right, so I finally found some stable values here for the core curve optimizer, which is my core 1 and core 2 had to drop down to -15, but the rest is at -30, so that's good. And I went up from, I think we started at 4.38 up to 4.58, which is a really good really good jump with the core optimizer. So I think it's worth doing. And it took me about 2 hours while I'm doing this video, so it may take you a little quicker because then you don't have to set anything up. Anyways, I think it's really worth doing. Even if you do find with the Cinebench R23 stable, I still think you should leave your event viewer up for a few more weeks while you play video games or do anything else, because if there is something that does crash, at least you'll see what it is and you'll see what core made it crash if that's the case, and you can still adjust the values of your core optimizer to make it full on stable. I think I'm going to drop this another 5 just to make sure that I don't. So I'm going to have -10 on cores 1 and 2, and then the rest -30, and I think that will be good for me. As for the jump in speed, I'm actually very happy with it. The jump in speed went from, before I even did PBO, from 3.8 up to 4.5. So I'm very happy with that. I know some people are getting 4.7s and 4.8s all core. Apparently my CPU cannot do that, but still I'm happy with what I got. As for the temperature, I will let you know I was having a hard time with the temperature because my system would crash and it would say CPU overheated, but while I was watching the temperature, it wasn't at extreme hot temperatures. It went up to 87 degrees Celsius, 87, 88 degrees Celsius, which is perfectly within the parameters of the CPU, but I have no idea why it's doing that. I'm wondering if my CPU cooler, my AIO, is maybe the pump is dying or something. I have no idea. I may have to get another one, but I guess time will tell. So I guess there's nothing else to say. We did the PBO, we did the the curve optimizer, and now everything is running stable. And I'm gonna play some video games and make sure it stays stable. But yeah, I hope this has helped you. If you have a better way to do this, let me know, of course. If you did like the video, hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.